What's up, Coach? What's going on?
I am good. I'm good, coach. I am in sunny South Africa at the moment, but it looks more sunny your side. What's going on? What's happening? Do we change weather,
Man,
coach? What's happening?
you know what is funny? Texas is so crazy, man. We're coats. Right now, I'm short sleeve. I got on shorts. It's all over the place. It's bipolar, just like the markets can be sometimes, man. But you know what, man? I'm excited today. If you're first, dialing in, welcome to Connect, Trade, and Grow. My name is Coach Brian. This is Coach Chadwin. We're going to have an amazing show today where we're going to work on fixing your trading thing so we can fix your impact thing and fix you just having purpose in life. So, Coach, I want to pass it back to you. What do we have for the troops today so that we can have an amazing call today?
Well, we've got a good session. We've got a couple of good things coming up. If you joined a little earlier, you'd have seen that we've got a masterclass coming up tomorrow. So I'm super excited with that. And throughout the stream, we'll be speaking about that as well. And if you're live with us, and this is your first time joining, or if you're watching this via replay, even tomorrow during the day, please let us know that you want to be part of that. Just say, count me in, hashtag count me in. But coach, we're going to have a good session today. I think one of the things that we speak about and why this is called fixing the trading thing in the first place is because we want to fix all those things that we had trouble with in the beginning. Coach, you remember we had trouble with strategy, right? We had
Yeah.
trouble with mindset. We had trouble with, and this is the big one, access to funding, right? Now, if someone's
Come
live
on,
with us
man.
at the moment, please, if you had any of those problems, please let us know in the chat as well. So we set out, we created Connect, Trade, and Grow. If this is your first time watching us, we created Kingdom Day Traders to answer that very thing. Coach, I'm going to pass it back to you before we even go to the charts and something like that.
Sure, sure,
What
sure.
would you say was your biggest thing when you came into trading? What was the biggest thing that you struggled with? Right? What was the issue? The issue that constantly plagued you?
Patience, 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 patience.
Mm.
Put a 7 in the chat if that might be yours. Patience, meaning that I needed things to happen quickly. I was on a time crunch. I needed the money. I wanted my time. And what didn't help is I saw other traders, younger traders, people seem to be winning online. And I felt that I was comparing myself to their journey. So patience. Patience was something that I had to work on. And I remember when I first started, I tried to microwave the process to just speed it up, skip all the lessons, just give me the signals, show me where to get in. And I remember just hearing over and over again, you're a student always, you're a student always, you're a student always. And so write this down if you're paying attention to me. Your burden is often your ministry. Your burden is often your ministry. Our curriculum, our course, our company, which mission is to touch 100,000 lives, people and individuals, so they can learn the skills of day trading to live life on purpose and build God's kingdom, comes from the burden that I had, that my wife had, that Coach Chadwin has. And this burden has literally allowed us to train thousands of students. So I'll pass it back to you, sir, but patience is the answer to that.
Oh, coach, I wish I could say I got that dragon slayed completely. I think I still every now and then have that issue with patience, but we are learning and it's a process. And I'm looking at the title today. It's Fixing the Trading Thing, episode 12. Now, we are an unapologetically Christian organization as well. And I'm looking at the number 12. I don't even know this, coach, but 12 is the number of headship and leadership. Right? God chooses for himself 12 apostles. And so he's talking about choosing for himself 12 leaders. And I want everyone to write this down. Today is the day you decide to take the lead and leadership role where your trading is concerned. What I mean by that is you no longer follow your emotions. You no longer follow trading signals that don't work. You no longer follow this person, and that person. You take the lead and decide, you know what, I'm going to become the signal. I'm going to become the business that is trading. I'm going to become everything that embodies that. Today is the day you decide that. 12. Someone put in the chat for me, hashtag 12. I see Nicole says, interesting. Absolutely. Hashtag 12, the number of headship and leadership. Coach, you're a leader. You're a leader of your house, right? You're
Yes,
the
sir.
leader of this organization. What are some of the things that you've seen as you try to, and I think this has been a cornerstone, that's always been a cornerstone for you. When we started this journey, I think what separated our academy was that we focused on the mind as well. what are some of the leadership principles that you think are crucial and necessary for us to be master traders? Right before we
Absolutely.
even get to the charts, one of the cornerstones, everyone, of our, if you're joining us for the first time, is mindset, multiplication, and management. At the height of a master trader is mindset. Coach, what do you think is those leadership principles that we need to be master traders?
Awesome. First of all, great question. As mentioned, what you just finished, which was mindset, multiplication, and management. I think the most important and often overlooked is the psychology of a winner, and specifically when it comes to trading. People assume that trading is just logical. But what happens when you put your money, when you put your emotions, when you start to see everything that's going on, it's huge. And so that mindset of a leader is, and of trader is, I'm a professional. I'm going to approach this as a profession. I'm going to get the education. I'm going to put in the time. I'm going to look at myself as a manager over someone else's resources. Watch where I'm going with this, coach, because this is so powerful. And shout out to my son on here as well. He just said good morning. So shout out, Junior. But when I look at myself as a manager, that means that I relinquish reckless behavior and I approach it with an aspect to say, I'm going to look after this money as if it's someone else's. Just imagine how differently you would trade if you were managing the money as if it was someone else's. Now, let's just go deeper because the name of the institution is Kingdom Day Traders. Put a 7 if you track with me, please. So if God has equipped we with money, equipped we with resources, and is checking to see how I manage money and manage resources, can he trust me with the way that I handle money? Now, I'll be very truthful, everybody. When I first started, the answer was unequivocally, no, I can't trust you, Brian. Brian, you're gambling. Brian, you're hoping and wishing. Brian, you're doing everything that you shouldn't be doing, but you're praying to me for overflow and breakthrough, but you skipped over the two important things, discipline and consistency. So write those two down, please. Discipline and consistency. Discipline and consistency will let you know when to pull the plug. Discipline and consistency will allow you to know when to keep on going. Discipline and consistency will allow you to stick with this long enough until you start to win. Notice what I just said, long enough until you start to win. Coach, what I'm so excited about tomorrow, and I'm going to pass it back after I say this, is that during the master class, I'm going to talk about those 4 pillars, right? And everybody just write this down. Pillar number 1 is the ability to be coachable. Write that down, please. Coachable. Coachable. The ability to follow instructions, often overlooked. So many people come with a pre-context of what they believe, what they hope for, and they believe that that supersedes what you need to do. That's not the case when it comes to trading, ladies and gentlemen. Number 2, discipline. Sticking with your studies, showing up, not making excuses. Give me thumbs up if that's making sense, or put a 7, please. Showing up and doing what you're supposed to do. Number 3, my favorite, say this with me, decisive. Can you take the trade? Can you get out when you're supposed to? Can you trade within a specific time frame? Can you make a decision? Paramount. Last one is committed. Are you committed to your success so that you can get to where you need to be? Are you trying to fast cook your success? Are you willing to say, you know what, I'm going to dedicate a year. I'm going to give 2 years to this. I'm going to do whatever it takes. Coach, I'm going to pass it back to you, man. You know, I love that question because it just hits it home in so many different ways. Thanks, Coach.
How badly do you want it is the question. How badly do you want it, and are you disciplined enough to get there? I think that's the key thing. I think one of the things, Coach, I always ask myself when trading is, tomorrow when I wake up, or the next day, or the next week, or the next month, whatever it is, what has changed? And when my observation is that nothing has changed for myself, then I understand I got to work on me, not my skill set, right? And so those are the corners. I was trying to find, there was this video that you have made back in the day, Coach. I was trying to find it the other day, and I wanted to play it on the session before I go to the charts right now. But you said this words, I remember it quite clearly. You said, before you think about making some money, what is your why? right? That was the question. I wish I can find it. But I want to ask everybody else on this call as well. Before you think about making some money, what is your why? I'll tell you why. Every time I think about doing crazy things on the chart, every time I think about just throwing caution to the wind and just taking big lot sizes and whatever, I look at a picture of my son. I look at a picture of my wife when they're not around. And I say, man, I can't allow myself not to be disciplined. I can't allow myself not to be structured because that's my why. That's my future. That's my legacy. And Coach, I think you said your legacy is on here as well. One of your legacies is on here as well. And that's why we do it, because we understand that we want to leave something behind for our children's children. So you guys have come to join Fixing the Trading Thing. I'm going to jump on the chart, kind of speak about what I saw yesterday. If you haven't yet caught Technical Tuesday, please do so as well. Right, please do so, because it was a good one and the charts are already moving in that direction. And I want you to do this in the chat. Just put hashtag free money, because if you watched it yesterday, we gave you some free money. The charts are moving that direction, right? Free money. Cannot afford to not be disciplined. Absolutely. So we're gonna look at the euro. We'll look at the Qs and the SPX as well. And then I'm going to tell you again, those of you who are joining us for the first time, and I'm excited because I'm seeing a lot of people put up their hands and say, you know what, I want to join tomorrow. We've got our masterclass coming up tomorrow, right? It's going to be at 11:15 CST, and you're going to want to join that. That's a one that you do not want to miss. So free to join tomorrow. Free. Yes, absolutely free to join. Secure your spot. And here's what we're going to do. Everybody who joins is going to get access to a free bonus, right? They're going to get access to bonuses on that particular call. Now, first of all, the free part of it is you're going to learn. We're going to teach you some trading, right? That's free. And then the second part of it is we're going to give you some extra bonuses that you can have access to exclusively. So please make sure that you join. Tomorrow, it's going down. This is our first master class, right? So you want to make sure you're joining. Thank you for everyone who's joined us on this call today. Let's look at the charts real quick. Let's see what's up, what's happening. Let me switch my layout here. There we go. So this is the SPX. Not much movement as yet. We are still looking at these levels as of yesterday. Expectation at the moment is that we're going to make higher pricing, right? The reason why, and as I explained to you guys yesterday on stream, is we have traded into this monthly area over here, right? And it seems as though the daily is respecting that area as of now. What do I mean? We've traded into that area over here, and we are getting ready to break up. Now, I'd like to see an impulsive move above that high. What do I mean by impulsive, right? I want to see jump up. I want to expand up. If we get an impulsive move above that high, I'm expecting some kind of a stair step up that way. Now, it might not stair step up exactly like that, right? It can pull down a little deeper, go up, but overall, at the moment, I think it's more probable that we are going to be putting in higher pricing, seeing that we have some trend line liquidity that we want to be targeting at that particular point. Coach, and of course, if you've got any chart you want to jump in on and you want to look at later, just let me know. But that was the SPX. We don't want to keep you guys overly long today. We more so just want to invite you to that amazing session that we're going to have tomorrow. Now, I've unfortunately cleared my drawings by accident on the dollar, but if you go and watch yesterday's stream, you would see that I have this particular area over here, which I'll make a little green here, right? And so my students already know exactly what I'm looking at. And after that, we had seen an initial break up, and I was expecting from the stream yesterday, my expectation was a possible move higher, drop, and then higher again with a target over here. However, we had seemed to then overnight put in a bad quality zone. So what price had then done has taken out the low, as you can see over here. And so these are some principles that you're going to need to understand. For the most of you, if you're a student of ours, you know exactly what I'm pointing out. But if this is your first time joining the group, we encourage you to engage with our content. Please check the welcome post. We've tagged you in there but also check all the streams that we've done prior in this week and the streams that you've been tagged in. Also, as a general rule, if you've been in here for a couple of days, go and have a look at your inbox on Facebook, because we usually have our admins reaching out to you and finding out how we can help and assist you in your trading journey. So after that, we have then made a new low, broke that low with Mr. Fed Chair speaking, Mr. Jerome Powell himself. And after him speaking, it pushed our price. At this particular time, I still believe in a target that is possibly going to reach for that high. And then, as previously explained to everybody on yesterday's stream, which I won't cover in detail, but the expectation from a monthly perspective on the euro dollar. Now, you might be saying, do these people only trade forex? Do they only trade options? Do they only trade stocks? We trade everything. Why am I covering these particular instruments now at the moment? Well, these were the hotly requested ones, right? So we ask our students once a week to request some charts, and then we have a look at it. So sooner or later, the Technical Tuesday might not be live in the Connect, Trade, and Grow group, but the students, you guys will always have it, right? So from a monthly perspective, we have reached this area over here, which is a gap, right? And that tells me that once the daily breaks down, which we do not have at the moment yet, right? But this is my expectation. I'm going to draw it out, and hopefully I don't forget and delete it by accident. But my expectation is we go higher, we drop lower, we hit that again, and we continue down. I'd like to see this go down for the rest of the month, right? After taking out that high. However, the alternative view is we impulse very strongly above that high. We hold it on the daily here, and if a daily holds and takes it up higher, then it will be higher pricing throughout the month. But gun to my head, if I had to make a choice today, coach, this is what I'm looking at. Higher than that, and then a drop down. Higher time frame is your friend. Expectation higher, then drop down. You want to say anything on that, coach?
Man, I hope they're just taking some notes, man. You're giving so much game right here. And if people are actually listening, you literally have just given a signal out. But that's what I love about this. You know, at the institution, what we focus on is we want people to become the signal, to understand what's being said to you, to understand market structure, to understand, you know, FEGs. And as you're showing right now, man, this is a good outlook and even can serve as a gauge of what direction that the market can be going into. So that's all I just wanted to add, man. But keep doing what you're doing, Coach. Amazing work.
Absolutely. No, thanks, Coach. Absolutely. So that's what we try and do. We try and give you the ability to fish, right? Not show you years of fish, but show you how to fish for yourself. And if you like that, give me an 8 in the chat. Our game plan is to make sure that you become self-sufficient. So if you like that, give me an 8 in the chat. So, yep, on the euro at the moment, I'm thinking higher than there, then go lower down. How do you navigate? Where do you trade to? Where do you take your take profits? That's going to be based on some proprietary information, which is basically for students. You guys know that that's based on your time frame sets, right? Where you're going to take profit and things. But at the moment, we're looking at to take out those equal highs over there, then break down and continue down from that for the entire month. That will be my ideal scenario. Then lastly, let's do a catch up on, because NAS and SPX is the same at the moment. So let's do a catch up on GIS, General Mills, and let's see where we're at with that. Okay, we're still chopping around slowly over here. This is more so a slower pair. Let me look at the higher time frame. I'm going up on the monthly. We've still got some room over here to fill. So I'm looking at some upward movement for some time. Nothing has changed yet on the monthly. Nothing has changed on the weekly. We still similar position on the daily. That was the initial expectation. Drop down, then move up. Everything is still going as planned. So have a look at that. Prices continue in that same direction. Yesterday, we also looked at gold, and this will be the last one I look at. And I ascertained that gold is going to trade between, and look at that, trade between that high and that low. And my expectation yesterday on yesterday's stream was that we were not going to continue higher, but pull back from that area to trade in between this particular consolidation. And as expected, so far, that's what we're getting. So the system works. After that, gun to my head, I said, because we are in a consolidation, I'd be expecting possibly a move higher to go and take out these highs. Why I'm not overly confident about that is that at the lows, we've got some equal lows over here, and equal lows are usually targets for institutions. But as of now, if you took yesterday's stream into account, you got to trade from the top down. So that's working. Remember, you don't have to be first in the market. You can trade the in-between. Write it down for your notes. Trade the in-between. Right, Phil says 8 to the power of 2. Absolutely, Phil. That's higher grade right there. 8 to the power of 2. So you can trade the in-between. You don't have to be first. You also don't want to be last. Just trade the in-between. So again, reminder, we have a masterclass coming up tomorrow. And if you want to join and you want to see what it looks like to be part of this institution, then join us tomorrow. It's free to join, right? Free to join. And it's going to be at 11 CST. Now, if you are South African on here, you might be thinking, what is this dude speaking about CST all the time, right? That's going to be at 7:15 South African time, right? 7:15 South African time tomorrow. You are free to join. Coach, I'm going to pass it back to you. Drop some wisdom on us. Is there anything else you want to add, Coach? We looked at some charts. I'm not sure if you want to look at a chart or what it is you want to do, but
do me a favor, man. You don't want my internet. I'm outside, man. So if you can, let's go back to gold. Let's take it to the
problem.
Let's go to the 15-minute time frame, if you can.
Sure.
Beautiful. Hey, do me a favor. If you're getting some value out of today's training, please let us know. You know, we're always trying to check on that to see if it's making some sense. Like if we got a couple of people on here, you know, make sure your finger's not broken. You could just let us know value because we're always trying to see if this stuff makes some sense to everybody. Now, Coach, I'm going to have you do a little bit of work if you can, man. You know I like my little circles, man. So can you do a highlighted circle on that low that is to the left of the low that we're currently at right now? Put a circle right there,
this one
please.
over here?
Yes, sir. And then if you can go back a little bit more to the left, let's go ahead and put another circle.
Further to the left?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
there
over here?
Right over there. Beautiful. Good. Now, I believe it's are you on your Mac today or are you using Windows?
I'm using Mac.
Okay, good. So let's do a horizontal line from that circle and then another horizontal line from the first circle that you're drawing to. And I just want to kind of just show. Yes, sir.
You know, I'm gonna do it this way manually because I don't know your tips and tricks.
Nah, man, when you mark up your stuff, I said, man, how did he come up with that? Good.
Let me take that off.
Beautiful. So let's just zoom in from that one right there, and we're going to be looking at current place, please, to see what's going on. Awesome. Let me open my computer, man. I'm on one computer today. Beautiful. So look at what happened right there on the green circle. We had a reversal pattern, okay? Drop base rally. We also had some hidden zones in there. I see, let's see, boom. That's a nice fair value gap. Look at that. Can you draw out that FVG, please, on that one, sir? And look at that like clockwork, Coach. It came right into that gap. Boom, went to the upside. So if you can, take the ruler and just go from that fair value gap all the way to that top, please.
From the open, from the low here at the bottom or the open?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. From that low all the way to the place where we first at. Bam.
There we go.
So that
the high.
That went up $10.71, and that took a couple hours to get there. So that was a lot of money. Come on, man. Now, Coach, if you can, right adjacent to that, notice that the pattern happened again. It didn't go up as high, but if you missed it on the first go round, you were in a demand zone, and you could have made some money right there. So just go ahead and draw an arrow for that, please.
Talking about this one, Coach?
Yes, sir. And then they have one that's right below it to the right as well. Yes, sir. Right there.
Below it to the right?
Yes, sir. So you look at that drop base rally.
You're talking about this one, this bounce over here?
Right there. Yes, sir. Now, look, we've been working together for so doggone long. I can say it, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Come on, man. We're not making this stuff up. We do this. So look at this one. Drop base rally took up, jumped off. You could have made some serious money, but then we had a violation of both zones. So if you can, coach, go to where it's at currently right now in the market. And I just want to show everybody how you have to pay attention to patterns to really position yourself. Yep. So now look at that red candle. We got a red candle. Sellers were in. They liked it. If you can go to the 4 right now, coach, I need you to kind of zoom out maybe to the hour or the 4 hours so we don't have to go back as far. But if you were to draw a vertical line, look at where we're at right now. All the way to the bottom, please.
All the way further? Over
Yes, sir.
here?
Right by that order block. Yes, sir. Look at that order block right there. To the left. With the yellow line?
It's over here?
Yep. So just kind of look at it, how it was in that area and price dropped down and then boom, that it went up. So I want to kind of do 2 points before we finish today's call. One is we don't want to chase candles because situations like this happen all the time. Where you feel like the candle is falling out of the sky, it's going to keep on going down forever. And look at that reversal. And what I like about zones like this, it was a very impulsive move. If you can, coach, go to where the candle just touched the zone, and then let's just see how much it shot up just from there, please. Beautiful. So look at that. I think that's right around 1951 all the way up there. So it went up $5.30. And that's immediate money that you could have made pending you knew what you were looking for, what your objective was, and what your edge was. What I'm excited about tomorrow's class, master class, we're going to be going in deeper to explain how to find these zones and how even if you went the wrong direction, how you can quickly switch to go in the right direction because you know what you're looking for. That's all where I wanted to kind of stop right here. There's so much money on these charts, man. And what I find with people, if you're willing just to take the time and be patient and take time to learn and listen, you would be amazed at the type of return that you can get. Now, I want to give the opposite side to this because it's funny with human beings, man. Fear's a motivator. Would you guys agree with that? We all know we should be working out. We should be eating healthy. But it's something about maybe going to the doctor, something about, so when that happens, then you're motivated to say, okay, man, I got to get serious about this. Does that make sense? Please don't blow accounts and then say, I need help. Please don't lose a job and then say, hey, I need some help. Instead, invest the time right now. Now, here's why we're doing this masterclass at this time, and then I'm going to pass it back to Coach. We have Black Friday that's coming up right now. And so in the States is huge. I'm hearing in South Africa is huge. And so many people go in and spend money that they don't have trying to please people that you don't need to please. Stop buying gifts that you don't need to be buying. Stop doing things that you don't need to be doing. Instead, invest in a skill set where you can have Black Friday specials any day of the week. Notice today I'm outside. When I finish this recording, I don't have a boss to report to. I am my own boss. My bosses are my customers, my students. But the thing is we have freedom because we put in the time. And what I find is a lot of people raise their hands and say, oh, teach me how to trade. And I get it. Some people say, teach me how to trade, which means I want to learn from you. I want to be a student. I want to invest in the academy to learn. But there's a majority of people that don't want to invest in anything. They're looking for freebies. They're looking out for handouts. They're looking for somebody to save them, but they won't invest in themselves so that they can learn the skill to help invest in other people. And so, Coach, I just want to pass it back to you because, I'm a coach, man, and I get very ticked off because there's a lot of good people that need some instruction. But then also we have to kind of separate the wheat from the tares because there's a lot of people that just want signals. They just want to waste time. They're looking for somebody to save them, and they're not looking to get high-level accountability so that they can learn a skill to save themselves. So if you can, please talk on that, Coach, and then, I think that you can go in and close us out as well, man. Thank you, sir.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach. No, absolutely. I want everyone to hear me real clearly here. If you're not going to do it for yourself, do it for someone else. But be serious about it. Somebody needs you to become a master at your craft. No more playing around. You've worked for the boss long enough. Listen, I know what it feels like. I worked in a job for 16 years and got treated bad every single day. So I know what it feels like. But now, as Coach said, our bosses are our students, right? We get to trade from wherever we are. We get to eat from wherever we want to eat. And Coach, I joke about this often, but Coach is eating 5 or 6 times a day at different venues, right? And if you want to be a master, if you want to be someone who stands out in the crowd, you're going to have to get serious about your craft. And that's what we're doing tomorrow. So real quick, if you want to join that and you're serious about making this a viable career where the ceiling is determined by your commitment, then in the chat right now, just give us count me in or hashtag masterclass. One of those and you will be in tomorrow's session. We'll reserve your spot. You will join us and we're going to show you how we make this thing work, right? I'm going to show you, we're going to take you behind the curtain, show you some things you're not going to see on these free and open streams. So come and join us, right? But it's time to get serious. No more hanging around on these streams and being quiet. It's time to engage. So if you want to engage with us tomorrow, go for it, Coach. You want to jump in?
I'm sorry to cut you off. I feel like this was jumbo.
No, good.
So I'm outside right now, and look at what I'm looking at right now, folks. I've taught thousands of people, and yet I'm taking time to bring out my notebook, get my highlighter, and learn more.
Yes.
It amazes me that they got people that say, I've taken a class before, and I'm just going to go out here and make millions. Blows my mind. Blows my mind. Coach and I still are always trying to outread one another, always are looking for new concepts, always are trying to go deeper with this because everybody understands this. So we take this very seriously. Tomorrow's class, I want to set the expectation of what it is and what it is not. So here's one of my rules, and just let me know if this is a rule for you. Normally, if I invited somebody by my house, which doesn't happen too often, you would walk in the front door and you would see a bunch of shoes by the front door. And the reason that we do that is that we have young children. And so when you're walking outside, there's a lot of dirt on your shoes. There's a lot of germs. So we don't want to spread that on the floor that we're sitting on, our couches and on our rugs, and our children are walking around. So one of my house rules is take off your shoes before you come into my house. Put a 7 if that makes some sense. So I don't care what you do at your house, but when you come to my house, you're going to take off your doggone shoes. Now you might say, man, I ain't taking off my shoes. I say, no worries, but you ain't coming in my house. There's rules. So one of the rules tomorrow, because this trading room, this masterclass is Coach Chadwin's house and my house, is that you're going to come in with your cameras on. Well, I don't really like people to see me. Well, do me a favor, don't come. Because we build community and we want to see your face and we want you to see us. And just think about this. We're teaching you a skill and you think that we're going to talk to a black screen? That sounds crazy to me. Now, also think about the other students that turn on their camera. We're trying to build community. It's impossible to build community with a person that has their screen off, with their microphone off, and is just lurking. So one of my house rules, if you come tomorrow, turn your cameras on, have something to write down with, have a book to take notes with, and ask some questions and get accoladed with the community. Put a 10 if this is making some sense. Now, as a student, one of the things that you have to do to be able to get this is you need to be actively engaged. I know there's some people, and no disrespect, but you can't drive a car and attend our class. Are you guys listening to me? You can't be vacuuming and then you hear me in your right ear and the kids are on your left ear and you say, I'm going to pick up this trading stuff. Andrea, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. Just listen to me, folks. And Coach, you know I can talk now, so you go ahead and stop me, brother.
Oh, go for it, Coach. Go. You go for it. I like what I'm hearing.
The best of the best that have went to Ivy League schools that have tens and millions just in a research department, that have artificial intelligence, that have algorithms. And yet we want to come here and have 5 different videos playing at the same time and actually believe that we're going to be successful in these markets. Please It's not happening. So tomorrow's class, let me take it from the top. Number 1, cameras on. Number 2, show up on time. Number 3, be actively engaged. Number 4, mentally ask yourself, what is it that I want to get from the class? And am I willing to do what it takes to make it happen? And the last one, and I'll pass it back to Coach. Write this down, please. Everybody type it in the chat if you're listening to me. No excuses. We all have a story. I could tell you about this happening and that happening, and we could have a whole testimonial of bad things happening to us. Everybody tracking with me? We can choose, folks, to be a victim, or we can choose to be a victor. I don't know about you. I want to be a victor. Because if you don't take time to learn this, guess what? There is a plan B. Everybody type this in the chat. Plan B. What is plan B? Working your job, working another 40 years, allowing another man or woman to tell you when you can get off. Just imagine this. Your kids are sick. You have to go to another adult and ask them, can you get some time off to go see your kids? Come on, somebody. You got somebody sick. They're going through some things. Maybe you have to go through some type of treatments. And you're worried about in the back of your mind, can I keep on attending these treatments? Or is there a chance that I can get fired? Is this making sense, ladies and gentlemen? So you know how I had you write down plan B? Watch this, folks. There's no doggone plan B. It's plan A. Burn the ships and tell yourself that I'm going to do whatever it takes to win, Lord willing. I'm going to show up. I'm going to study. I'm going to deal with the blood, sweat, and tears. I'm going to keep on showing up till I get this thing. If I get knocked down, I'm going to get up 7 times. Quitting is not even in my vocabulary. Say this with me, please, if you're tracking with me. I will win, period. Say it with me 2 more times. I will win, period. Last time, that's why we're doing it in 3s. I will win, period. Coach, I'm passing it to you. I got fired up as usual, but I want people to understand we're passionate about this, man. Ain't no faking around here, man. You're a coach.
Yes, sir. Coach, is the Baptist preacher inside you, coach, is coming out that's saying, let me minister to these people. Let them hear. No, I'm excited. I will win, period. That's it. No plan B, right? We're coming to win. Well, that's what we want on the call tomorrow. All the winners show up. No excuses. Ask your wife for some time. Tell the kids, I need this moment. And if your wife is interested as well, bring them with. Bring your household with if they're interested. No distractions. Book and pen. Note-taking software, whatever it is. Winners take notes. We're going to have a ball of a time tomorrow. And everyone there is going to get access to some bonuses as well. So if you don't show up, don't expect us to do this again. We're going to check how this goes tomorrow, and we'll see whether or not we'll do it again. Right? That's been Coach Brian King and myself, Coach Chadwin Solomon. As always, we close you out with the 3 main words that we use, which is mindset, multiplication, and management. It's been our goal to keep things simpler, better, faster. So join us tomorrow. Coach Brian and I will be live. We're looking to something epic. Goodbye, everyone. Be blessed on purpose. And students, see you later in class.